Tamara Mitchell Davis. As she told me, I've been going crazy with the promo. Been going crazy. Thank you everybody for showing up tonight. It's a different time. 8:30 is late, but you came and we love it. So thank you. So without further ado, if you are brand new, I'm Quentin McDougald. I'm the host, and I'm also the founder and CEO of Nothing But Web. And this is the Nothing But Web Entrepreneur Network, where our goal is to help entrepreneurs grow, no matter whether you're starting out, whether you're professional, whether you've been doing it for years. We want to help each other grow, and that's our goal of the Nothing But Web Entrepreneur Network. So without further ado, this is Tamara Mitchell Davis. Now, if you're brand new, I do this the third Wednesday of every month. So I start this off with my introduction. So little do you know, behind the scenes, there's always some backstory that I have, that whether the person I interview knows or or I just find out information all the time. So believe it or not, and we're all going to put our hands together and give her a hand clap. Just talking to her today, I realized that I have to change all the promos because she is no longer Tamara Mitchell Davis. She is Dr. Tamara Mitchell Davis, and she'll be getting her doctorate this weekend. So she'll be talking about that. But without further ado, Tamara is an 11-time Amazon best-selling author. I know myself because I purchased some of the books as well. She is also the CEO of the Pen to Profit Conference that's held every single year. Now, if you don't know what the Pen to Profit Conference is, just from my observation, it's a wonderful thing where all the writers and business owners, they go to an island and then they go write and they come back with a book every single time, every single time. So she'll talk more about that. And she's also the host of her own, the CEO Wife Experience podcast. So if you're not familiar with her podcast, make sure you check that out, but she'll tell you that. But again, Tamara, in travel, the biggest reason behind the scenes we had to do it instead of Wednesday or Thursday because she was traveling to get her doctorate. So again, congratulations. So without further ado, Dr. Tamara Mitchell Davis, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. McDougald. Thank you for having me. And welcome, everyone. Hello, hello. This is my first episode and premiere. When you said Dr. Tamara Mitchell Davis, I was like, oh, wait, hold up now. So thank you all for being here with me. I do like to share and talk and have it interactive. So I'll be asking questions as well and sharing some information with you. So before I jump in and give a brief introduction of myself, I want to know in the chat who's here in this space with me. So if you are a published author already, type a number 1 in the chat. And if you desire to write a book, type a number 3 in the chat. Type a number 1 if you are a published author and a number 3. Okay, Tangi, I see you. Thank you. Thank you. Lisa, okay. 3, desire. Okay. Awesome. So I asked that question because as I go through sharing some tips and strategies with you, I like to make sure that I am in the right place at the right time to ensure what I am sharing by way of this message that is beneficial to you and also of value. So a little bit about me. My very first book I published in 2017 is what started the business. At first, it was just for me to prove to myself that I could do it after several years, numerous years of being challenged with fear and doubt. And could I do it? Should I do it? Would anyone purchase the book from me? Is my story good enough? Like I went through all of the questions and it took me a while to get my first book published. So when it finally published, it was more than just proving to myself that I could do it. I realized that I was onto something. And with that being said, I started leaning more into entrepreneurship. So I had women reaching out to me to help them do the same. And from that book, my business was birthed. And so our organization and business, TM Davis Enterprise, is a coaching and consulting dynamic training company that helps aspiring and published authors not only write best-selling books, but leverage the book to grow their business. And so we do this by way of individual books that they desire to write. And we also do this through book collaborations. To date, we produced 7 collaborations since 2020. I've worked with over 70 plus women and men and getting their stories published and in the marketplace. This year, we brought into the fold men. We had a couples book collaboration titled Love, Business, and Marriage, where we brought the male voice to our projects. And so that started the male version or voice of what we do. So to date, it's been 70 plus individuals that we've been working with. We do have an annual conference, which is the Pen to Profit Conference, where it's all things books and business. Again, leveraging the book to grow and scale your business. And so it is always a fun time, a great experience. This year we were in Puerto Rico, and for 2023, and next year, 2024, we will be in Jamaica, April 3rd to the 7th. So I'll be sharing more information about that as well. So it is a fun time. It is relaxation, it's learning, but it's really digging into how you can take what you've created and leverage it to grow and scale your business. And just a little bit of information on some of the clients I've worked with in the past who've had similar challenges like doubt and fear and how long should my book be and can I do this? Once they have published the book, once that the writing muscle is built or the faucet is turned on, and now they realize this is something that they can do, they can leverage, and they go on to write more and do more. And so now from a book, they're able to secure speaking engagements. They've started podcasts. They've started coaching programs, started selling merchandise to go with the book to create a movement with what it is that they do and who they look to target with their products and services. And so I'm just excited because I get to watch the transformation of all of the women and men that I've been working with thus far, to see them go from idea in their head to book in their hands. And once the book is in their hands, now they're able to make the impact. They're able to not only create and leave a legacy, but live the legacy. And they're able to create an additional stream of income. So for this evening, I want to share with you some information, maybe 5 tips on how you can write and publish a book that you can leverage to grow your business. And so if that's okay with you, I said in the beginning, I like it to be interactive. So type a number 8 if that is okay with you. So I just want to make sure that's okay and we can proceed. So, and I'll be doing this throughout the presentation. I'll be sharing some information, but also asking for some feedback. So if you have questions, please feel free to put your questions in the chat and I'll be sure that we revisit the questions. So thank you again, Quentin, for having me. I'll just like to jump right in and share with you thinking about the end goal with having the book in your hand. So thinking from an entrepreneur and not just a writer, because the book is more than words on paper. The book itself is a way for you to put a strategy, a process, your personal story. It's that connection piece with your audience, but think outside of it just being words on paper. Your book is the vehicle that can drive you into spaces and places with what you've created. And so I want to share with you some of those ideas or strategies on what a book can do for you, but how you can start writing a book that's of value and how it can meet your customers and further build out the business that you have. So what a book can do for you. I like to start with that question just to level set, to get the gears turning, to get our creativity flowing and really think outside of a book just having, the words and how many chapters and, the makeup of the book, but thinking about the entrepreneur side of it or the authorpreneurship side of it. What a book can do for you is, of course, build your authority in the space, the entrepreneur space. So as myself, and I'll always use me as an example first, and I'll probably give some examples of my clients too. I'll start with myself. So as an example, for me, building authority meant that I was showcasing my expertise, whether I was wrapping up a book that included my knowledge, my skills, my experiences, but showcasing what I've created, showcasing my experiences, and really selecting a topic that could target my audience, but yet position me as an expert in the industry. And so I am known for book collaborations. I am known for a writing coach. I'm known for a business coach, because it's more than just having the words on paper. It's leveraging the book to grow the business. It's leveraging the book to move it as a business vehicle. And again, to get you in spaces and places. So what does that mean? That means a book, of course, can generate passive income for you. So passive income, whether you have it as a funnel and someone comes to your website and they get a pop-up where you say, hey, grab a copy of my book, 10 steps to writing your book, or you send them to something that they can opt in and then upsell them to a book or to a call with you. Leverage your book as that connection piece, the bridge to get customers in your pipeline. And so this goes back to building the credibility on who you are, what you do, what you stand for, and how you show up in the industry, in the marketplace as a thought leader connected to your business. Right. And so with that, it is a lead generation tool. Your book should do two things. One, attract those who are interested in you and interested in what you have to offer, or repel those who are not interested. And that is okay, because the goal is you want to make sure that you are attracting prospects, you are attracting your ideal clients and customers, so that you can build relationships, so that you can engage with them, so that you can connect with them, and eventually have an opportunity for them to work with you, because they are your target audiences or target audience. So it is a lead generation tool for you to attract prospects, pipeline for your business. A book is also a complement for your business. So I'll use Tangi is on right now. Tangi is one of my past clients. Tangi has a therapy practice for youth, young adults, and so on and so forth. So with Tangi having a practice, right, a therapy practice, mental health practice, excuse me, anyone who comes into her establishment, the book is a complement to the business. And so she is a 3-time best-selling author. And this is just 3 opportunities or 3 touch points for those who enter the establishment to purchase a copy of the book. Going back to passive income, going back to building authority, going back to building credibility, because now these individuals will get a glimpse of who Tangi is. So it's the relatability. It is the connection piece. It's the engagement piece. Because when people start reading something that you've written, of course, when you say you are an author, that's just another layer of who you are, that expertise, but then you're also human. And so who is the human behind the mental health practice? Who is the human behind the training and development company helping women, men, entrepreneurs build their business by way of books, right? Leveraging books to grow and scale their business. And so who is the human behind the business? And this is how you start building relationships so that people know you, like you, trust you, and of course want to do business with you. So the next is what a book can do for you is leaving a legacy. And so when you think of the word legacy, it's something that you leave behind. You leave it behind when you're no longer here. Someone can Google you, they can pick up the book, they can read it. The book lives on when you're no longer here, because a book exists 70 plus years. And if you're my age, and I won't give that out, I am young, but if you're 70 plus years, that means the book will exist when I'm no longer here. So what I've been talking about lately is not only leaving the legacy when I'm no longer here, but I want to live the legacy while I'm here. And so that is having the book and leveraging the book to grow, to build out other services and streams of income. And so living the legacy, I have a book now. How do I get this book in the hands of my readers, in the hands of prospects, prospective clients and customers to get this out, to share my story, to share my strategy, to share my process for that engagement piece. So I want to do that while I'm here, right? I'm speaking at different conferences or speaking at different events, or I'm hosting my own events. And so I'm speaking my truth, I'm speaking my story, I'm speaking the business story. And this is another way for those individuals to know you, like you, trust you. But I'm also living in legacy, because this book will live when I'm no longer here, but I'm here speaking. And guess what people do when you're speaking? They take pictures. They share you on social media platforms, right? And so now your brand is expanding. You are expanding as a thought leader in the marketplace in your industry. And so this has the opportunity, of course, to make impact, because most people who desire to write a book, or most people who desire to start a business, the goal is to help others do something. Businesses exist to solve problems, to meet the needs of someone or another organization. And so it is about making impact. It is about changing lives. It is about solving problems. And that's why businesses exist. So what can a book do for you? I just gave you 7 reasons, because several reasons, not 7, several reasons or ways, or how you can leverage a book to grow your business. But you first have to start writing the book. So that's what I want to share with you. The writing part. So if you have a pen, paper, if you're on a computer, you can open up another screen on your computer and just jot some information down. I'll ask questions. I'll share some tips with you because I want to share with you like some key fundamentals when you're starting out. And before I get into that, I want to share with you like a few common things that people get stuck on, or when I start, working with them, and I'll ask the question like, why is it taking you so long to write the book? Or how long have you been writing the book? Or what's your biggest challenge? I usually hear time, fear, and doubt. Time, fear, doubt, and money. I'm sorry. Time, fear, doubt, and money. So I want to ask you, what is your biggest challenge with writing your book? What has been your challenge? What has been preventing you? Let's just keep it there. Keep it simple. What has been preventing you from writing your book and getting it complete? So let's see. Has there been any challenges with getting your book done?
So one question from YouTube. So one viewer on YouTube that's watching you, their challenge is just, from what they're saying, is the imposter syndrome. They feel like they've been doing something for a while. People know them for doing it, but the hardest challenge they have now is just to get out there and put their ideas on paper. So what suggestion would you have for that person?
Awesome. So that is a great question. So I want to share. So this is what I've been talking about, and even with my own community, with imposter syndrome. And so imposter syndrome, when you think of it this way, to be an imposter means that you're a fraud. And so if what you are writing about is fraudulent, or it is not you, it is not your story, it is not your experience, you get to decide, like, am I being a fraud? What I'm writing, what I'm sharing, what I'm doing, is this unique? Is this authentic? Or is this a hoax? Is it a fraud? And so it is a mindset thing where you have to like really talk yourself through it. That happened with me as well, which is why I went back to the beginning. I said the validity of my story, like, is it good enough? Can I do it? I went through the whole roller coaster of imposter syndrome, but I had to sit with it myself. Like, what I'm sharing, is this a fraud? Like, does this make me a fraud? Is this information that I know? Is this information that I've done? Is it information that I've tested? It's been proven? Is this information that's been my own experience? And if all of my responses was yes, 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 and yes, then it's not imposter syndrome and it's not a fraud. It is me. It is living my truth. And so it's getting on the other side of that. And so It's more about you living in your truth and saying, this is my story. This is what I want to share. It is not fraudulent information because it is my truth, and be okay with writing it. Be okay with sharing it, and understanding that you won't know the impact it will make on other people until you get it out there. So if you have not finished, only thing you're doing right now is speculating the what ifs, which will keep you on a hamster wheel, which will keep you in a place of feeling stuck, because now you're just constantly rehearsing the same thing over and over. The what if, can I do it? Is this unique? Is this true? Is this, like, we go down this rabbit hole. And so just start asking yourself those questions like, is this my truth? Is this my experience? Is this factual information? And just own it. And once you get it done, this is what happened with me, because I experienced the same thing. When the book was published, that's when I had people reaching out to me saying, thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for writing the book. I saw myself in your story. It motivated me, it inspired me, and so on and so forth. But had I not done that, then I could not get to the other side to even hear the testimonials or hear from others to say how it impacted them. So you might be afraid. I'm gonna say, just do it afraid. Quentin, any other questions? I hope that was helpful. Let me know if that was helpful.
Yep, they said thank you. And then another quick question. They said pen or writing on a computer, what's the best way to get started? So should they type it, or write it, or voice record? What would be your suggestion?
Yeah, so it depends on where you are. So for me, I write it on the computer because eventually when I get to the editing phase, I would need to hand it over to my editor. And like, we're in a day and age where no one is sending over a manuscript by mail or UPS or FedEx to an editor or anyone, right? It's normally electronic. So to save yourself some time, just start typing it out on a computer. I use a Google Doc file where you can, it saves automatically, and that's where I keep record of it. If you are the type and you're starting out and you're like, I'm not sure about writing right now, you can definitely voice record it, but voice recording, you will still need to have it transcribed. And so with a voice recorder, you could do the voice record, send the voice record. There's two different platforms you can use. One is Temi, Temi, and another one is Rev, where you can upload the voice recorded file and it will transcribe it for you. There's a fee to it. I think it's like 10 cents a minute for one. It might be 25 cents on another, but you have to check that out. Once you upload the file, then they'll transcribe it for you, but you would still need to take this transcribed record of what you said, review it to make sure that it captured everything that you wanted to say. So if you speak and you speak with or, have other pauses or other words in there, it'll capture all of that. So you want to make sure once it's transcribed that you go back to review it to make sure that you're removing the fillers or unnecessary information and it's tight and right. So I hope that was helpful.
Perfect. Yeah. All right, keep going.
Okay, awesome. So this is where you can start. Some key fundamentals on writing your book. Thinking with the end in mind. That's not my phrase, but considering the book will do more for you. So it's not just words on paper. This is something that you will leverage. This is your thought leadership in this book. This is connected to the business, whether it's a process, it's a strategy, or even your personal story. So it is more than words on paper. So to get started, some key fundamentals, I want you to think about how you can write with purpose. Usually, starting is the hardest. So ways that you can start is asking yourself 4 questions, and you can write this down. Why, who, what, and connect. Why, who, what, and connect. So when you're starting out, you want to ask yourself, why am I writing this book? Like, what is the purpose for you to write this book? Is it you writing the book just to prove something to yourself? Is it you writing the book so it could be another compliment to the business? Is it you writing the book to, reach and do something else with it. Like, get clear on why you're writing the book, get clear on why this is important to you. Because on days when you feel like, I'm not sure about writing, or months have passed and it's like, I have not revisited this manuscript in a while, like, you want that why to motivate you to get back in the game, to get back in the writing game. So you want to make sure that your why is strong enough. So should you feel the doubt and the imposter syndrome and all these things that may bubble up, your why is bigger than those, because you're not a fraud, right? And time, that's another big thing. Like, we all have the same 24 hours in the day, but it's not the time management, it's how we manage ourselves within the time that we have. So how do you manage your time, right? Yourself within that time. It's you going back to your why you're doing this. What is the purpose of you doing this? To say, okay, I need to schedule some time. I need to block out some time, whether it's morning, lunch break, evening. You are scheduling time to make sure that you are doing your writing sprints to get it done sooner than later, because your goal is to eventually have a book in your hand. So you want to start off with your why. You want to start with the who. So who is this book for? Who will it be for? If you are writing the book and it's a part of the business, well, who's your customer in the business? Your ideal customer, your ideal clients in the business. Who are they and what do they need? What do they need? If they need a strategy, if they need a process, if they need a tip, if they need the how-to, what do they need that can help them where they are? And then you add a little bit of your personal story to it as well. Why or how you ended up in this space that you're in with the business, because this gives them another connection point. Remember, the human person behind the business. So it's the why, the who, the what, and then the connect piece is connecting the book to your business goals. You want to make sure that sprinkled in the book, you're able to connect them to an opportunity. So the opportunity could be, go and purchase more copy. If you have multiple copies of books out, different editions of books, it could be purchase volume 2. It could be schedule some time so we can have a discovery call. It could be every year we do this event, get on our wait list, right? And so you will also want to have that sprinkled in the book as well, because that's the connection to the business. And the book is a way for you to leverage the tool to grow the business. So you want to make sure that you have that in there, so the book is aligned with your business. Any questions there? And Quentin, you're in the chat, right? Monitoring the chat.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so the next thing, a key fundamental, is establishing your authority. So sometimes people are a little reserved when you say, oh, subject matter experts. Like, wait, I'm not an expert. I don't, an expert sounds so like I need to be perfect. It needs to sound perfect. I need to show up and have all my ducks in a row. And that's not really the case. You just need to be an expert in the content that you're sharing, right? And so it. You have the skills, you have the knowledge, you have the experience, you have the business that you started, you've experienced some wins, you've experienced some challenges, some obstacles, you worked through them, you made some tough decisions. You are a subject matter expert in that area. And so share your expertise, provide value, right? And so also reinforce your expertise with the content that you're sharing in your book, because this helps to build the credibility. And then going back to you being the subject matter expert. And this is all you sharing what you know. And what you don't know, you can research. You can research, because a lot of times like, oh, I don't know what to write about. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Start from what I said before, the why, the who, the what, the connect. You can start off there just based on what you've experienced yourself as an entrepreneur. And then what you don't know, you can research the rest and add more in. In addition to that, you also hire an editor. So an editor will come on to, you hire them to work with you on the project to help you bring the book to life. So I have editors on my team. I'm not the editor. And so my goal is to get the words on paper, or my clients get the words on paper, or our book collaborations, we get the words on paper, we hand it over to an editor. The editor will do what is her expertise, right? And that is content development, that is proofreading, right? To further build up what we've created. So it's not as if the manuscript has to be perfect when you are starting out. It's a draft, right? Get the draft on paper, review it, refine it, hire an editor, and make sure that you are comfortable with the editor. You get a sample of the work that they've done before, or a referral from someone else, and then they work with you to further build it out, build it up, and get it in its final stages. So it's not you doing everything by yourself. So share your expertise, provide value, and reinforce your expertise with the content that you share in the book, because this will help you build your credibility and establish you as an authority in your field. All right. I'm just pausing to make sure, because I can get excited and keep going and miss questions. So we're good?
Yep. One quick question from YouTube.
Yes. Okay.
So when sharing someone's expertise, they want to know, has it been created? So I'm trying to decipher this question. So what they're trying to ask you is, what if your expertise you feel is something that everybody talks about or writes about? Should that stop you, or should you try and pivot and find something else within your field to write about?
So no, that does not stop you. So there's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new under the sun. It's all been said before, done before, and it has not been done and said by you. And so that's what usually motivates me on how I move into the book space myself. My first book that I published was it's titled Goal Getter. I wasn't the first person to write a book on goal setting or business principles. And so it's my story, but I infuse business principles in with my story. I wasn't the first person to do this. And so it's so many people in this world. Sometimes we get hung up on if it's been said before, who would want to purchase a copy of the book? Is already books out here already. And that should not stop you from sharing your expertise or sharing your thought power or knowledge in a book based on, it just being said or written before. It's not written verbatim as other books, and you're infusing your own experience, your personality. And another way to think about this, it could be, and I shared this at our conference this year too. So it could be myself and another individual standing on the stage. We could have a script, and the script could be verbatim, the exact same thing that we read. It will come across and land different to the audience, because I may have a little joke that I throw in there, and the other person may have some other commentary that they add, and it will land different with the audience. Some may be attracted to me based on my style, my personality, how my pronunciation, or whatever animations that I do. Some will be drawn to me, and some may be drawn to the other individual. And so, but it's the same script that we've read. And so it's the same thing with the book. Some people will be drawn to you based on what you share, and it could be another book similar in title or topic, and others will be drawn to that book as well. So I would not allow that to stop you in writing based on it being done, said before, because it has not been done or said by you. And you can add your own style, pizzazz, personality, experience, tone, animation. You can add it to the book.
Thank you. And in the comments we have, what if your story is so big that you're stuck at where to start and stop, for that matter? Why do people do anthologies, and how do you market that?
Okay. That's a loaded one. So you want to go back to the why you're sharing it and who is it for. And so a way that I've seen people get stuck is because they're trying to dump everything that they know in one book. And when you do that, sometimes you can end up with like a 500, 600 page book. And we know this day and age, no one is sitting reading a 600 page book, 400 page book. So you want to think about the purpose, the why, who it's for, and the connection piece, right? And the value that you're looking to add. So as an example, if I am writing a book and my book is on basket weaving, I'm just making this up, is on basket weaving, then I want to talk about just basket weaving. I want to talk about why I was called to do basket weaving, my aha moment with basket weaving, what it means to me, how I developed the craft, how I've been able to grow a community behind it, right? And keep everything connected to the topic at hand. If I'm talking about basket weaving, but yet now I'm saying, okay, but I enjoy roller skating and I enjoy karaoke and I'm going down, a different avenue, then the story can seem disjointed or disconnected, right? Because now I'm trying to dump all of this information in one, and it may not be cohesive. So you want to stick to the who, the why, the what, the connection to the audience, and add value. And add the value so that you're able to not only share the story, but you're closing the loop on the story itself. And you're not leaving anyone hanging. So that's the first piece. The other was anthology. So with book collaborations, we produced 7 book collaborations, all bestsellers so far. And usually the individuals that I work with the book collaborations are struggling with writing an entire book by themselves, don't have the time to write a book, not sure where to start, unsure of the writing process. And so the reason why we produce the collaborations is because we're getting them to the published finish line faster. So they don't have to worry about the time, the topic of the book. We have all of that covered. We handle editing, the graphic design, we do everything. The only thing they would need to do is write a chapter. So that means doubt is out the window, time is out the window, like all of the excuses or challenges or obstacles are now no longer a challenge or obstacle because we've been able to mitigate that barrier. With an anthology or book collaboration, you're still able to leverage the book the book collaboration as your own book. What I love about book collaborations is because you have more than one co-author on the book, which means the reach can be greater. So if there's 10 authors on the book and 10 authors are now sharing it within their own networks and their family, their friends, their connections, then now this book can, of course, reach more people. So it expands the reach, which means there's more eyes, I was gonna say ears, but more eyes on who you are as the co-author in the project. And it's people that you may not have ever met, will ever meet, because it's someone else's connection or relationship that was established or formed through the book. So that's why I love the collaborations. And then it's just a starting point. Some people need that guidance and that understanding and that push and that support and assistance to get started so that they can understand the process, and from there can go on to write their own book. And one client in particular, Dr. LaShonda, she worked with me very first time, 2020, on a book collaboration project. And that's what I do. I train throughout the process. So when we're done, now you can go rinse, repeat it, and do it yourself. So she worked with me 2020, the book collaboration. She learned the process, understood the process, and then went on to write her own book. I wrote the foreword for her book. It was a bestseller. It was great. But then now she's still writing with me on book collaborations because she doesn't have the time to write an entire book, or just doesn't want to take on the lift of doing everything by herself. So the editing, the book cover design, the publishing, the marketing, and all of that. So that's just, a key piece on the book collaborations, but you still leverage a book collaboration as if it's your own book. Your name is on it, your bio is in it, you have the copies, you still promote it, market it, sell it as if it's your book, your own book. And you can do that, speaking engagements, you can create courses, coaching, and still do all the same things, just without having to do it all by yourself.
Perfect.
All right.
Yep.
This is good. It's great questions. So the next fundamental I want to share with you is leveraging your book for marketing. And so your book is a marketing tool. It is not just words in the book, words on the pages of a book. It is a marketing tool. And so you want to leverage the book so that you can engage with your audience, with your prospects, so that they can know the human behind the book, know the human behind the business, and know you, like you, trust you. So you connect with your readers, you're able to promote your business in the book, and you're able to highlight your services in the book, which is why all of the book collaborations that we've done, the co-authors have a bio in the book. They have their social media handles in the book. They have their website in the book, because this is just another connection piece on them, their business, and their story. So you definitely want to utilize the book as a marketing tool. And so you ask yourself the question, how can I showcase the book, right, in front of individuals who are my ideal clients and customers or prospects? And how do you do that? You have book signings, you go to conferences, you have networking events, you bring copies of your book with you. You keep the book in the car. My clients know I tell them wherever you go, even if it's a family barbecue, you have a book with you. It is a conversation starter. People are nosy. I was on a plane last month coming from a speaking engagement, and I had some books in my laptop bag, and I pulled them out and put it on the little tray table. So guess what? The two women that was sitting next to me, it was like, oh, is that your book? I was like, yeah, this is my book. I published, gave them a little spill on the book or what have you. And I had two different books. I had the Love Business Marriage book, which was the couples book collaboration. And I had my most recent solo book project, which is Dream Your Plan, Plan Your Dream, 7 Steps to Manifest Success. And so both of those copies, they sold to them sitting next to me because they wanted to know more about the book, wanted to know me, like, well, why did you write and what is it about and how can I get a copy? Oh, right here. You don't have to go to my website. It's right here. This is our method of payment, and an exchange happened. So it is a marketing tool for you. And so you want to think about how you can engage with your audience and how will you connect with the readers, with your clients, with your customers, where they are, so you can show up where they are, and also have the book as a conversation piece to start like talking about, well, what do you do? What are your needs? How can we connect? And it is a business card as well. All right. And so the last thing I want to share with you, another key fundamental, and this is all thinking outside of, again, just having the words on paper and thinking of it as just a book. It is more than that. It is more than that. And so another fundamental with the book is the opportunity to network and collaborate. And so with me just saying, a moment ago that the book is a conversation starter, it is a business card, and treat it as such. And so how can you, questions to ask yourself, how can your book foster a collaboration, right? So where's the through line? Where's the alignment with what you do and what another entrepreneur does, or an ideal client or target audience, however you identify them, because there's so many words buzzing around now. So how can you create those partnerships with your book, right? So your book is a movement. It is a business card. It is the vehicle to get you in places and spaces. How can you create partnerships based on your thought leadership in the book? How can you expand your network by leveraging the book to reach more people? Going back to the book collaborations, you can do more with more. So more people means expanding your network, expanding your brand, expanding who you are, what you do, and showing up as such. So also building community, right? So by leveraging your book to create a shared space for growth. And that's what I did. When I say the book started the business, it was the book becoming published that allowed me to get out in front of people with the book in hand, to say who I am, what I do, what I've created. But from there, I've been able to build community. And so I do have a Facebook community called Pen to Profit, Write, Publish, and Build with Tamara. And this space is with all aspiring authors, published authors, entrepreneurs, and coaches. The connection point, books and business. And so I've been able to create a community. I've created merchandise with my book. Or books. I host the annual conference. I have speaking engagements. I've been able to create my own podcast and have a platform where now I can invite other people on my platform to help them build out their platform. And so with my platform, I have speakers come in. They're getting in front of new people, different people that they may not have been in front of before, but it's a partnership, right? And so I have the platform, I invite them on, they're sharing, and similar to here, what Quentin is doing, like I'm on his platform, right? And I'm sharing out in the book space. And so I could do the same thing with Quentin, having him in my platform. And so you're always looking for the alignment and the connection piece for a partnership, for a collaboration, and just leveraging opportunities to network and get the word out. Because going back to why we're all in business as entrepreneurs, it's to meet a need, it's to solve a problem. And when you think about marketing, one way to do that is by way of referrals. It's by way of networking. It's by way of getting the message out on who you are and what you do, hence the book, so that you can continuously move and have more people in your pipeline so that you can continue to do business and make the impact that you desire. All right. And so I just want to encourage anyone who is listening, if you have the desire to write a book, if you've been feeling challenged, or even if you're like, well, I don't have the time to write an entire book, just think about your options. I've shared quite a few with you. You can start writing, of course, getting clear, key fundamentals, the why, the who, the what, the connect, right? So getting clear on that. But then thinking about my options. I could write it, I can speak it, you could hire a ghostwriter, or you could write an entire book, or you could be a part of a book collaboration. As entrepreneurs, we are figuring things out. And so there's always options. It's always options. And so thinking about how can the book that you create not only generate income, make the impact that you desire, and move you in spaces and places where you can do more, where you can have more, where you can be more, and continue the legacy. Not only leave the legacy, but live in the legacy. So I want to encourage you to just, don't put it off any longer, because if you keep putting it off, then you'll just keep delaying yourself on all the what ifs instead of just doing. And when you do, then the next step will present itself. And when you're done, now you can see the fruits of your labor and see the impact, because then you'll be able to take the book and now move it with you, for you, as the vehicle to get you in those spaces and places. So it is long-term. It is about growth. It is about sustainability. And that's why we're all in business. We're not in business for a fly-by-night. We're in business for legacy. We're in business for revenue. We're in business for relationships. We're in business to solve problems. We're in business for growth. We're in business for sustainability. So I hope the session was fruitful for you. I hope it lit a fire under you. Maybe it turned on the faucet a little bit, and it has your creative juices flowing, so that you are now equipped or more equipped to rise to the occasion and get it done sooner than later.
Thank you. Thank you. Dr. TAMARA Mitchell Davis. Thank you.
Thank you.
So before we wrap, I have a couple questions for you. So these are my personal questions.
Yes.
So question number one for you.
Okay.
You don't have to give me the long answer, because we're up against time. You've committed a certain amount of time. So what's the process of getting your book on Amazon?
So getting your book on Amazon, the process is once the manuscript has been edited, I always encourage have a professional editor. So once it's edited, it's formatted They call it typeset or formatted. And then you would have a PDF, and that's what you would upload on Amazon, and you would need a JPEG of your book cover. And those are the 2 files that you would need to upload on Amazon.
Okay. Question 2. How does it feel to be an 11
Yes.
time Amazon bestselling author? That's a feat. 11 times? Go ahead.
Yeah. So the thing is, I'm working on sitting in my accomplishments. I don't like, I move to the next, move to the next. And so I don't sit in it to really celebrate. And I see some of my people on too, Natalie and Zena, Tasha, they're all in my book collaborations too. So thank you ladies for showing up. It hits me when someone reads my bio and I'm like, oh, wait, whoa, right? And so this started from the first book where I had so many of the questions, the wonderings, the resistance, the reservations on, doubt, fear, should I, could I, can I, all of that. And so to take one book and then now be 11 times and moving into 12 and, so on and so forth, is like, wow, you really can create something from nothing. You really can take an idea and turn it into a movement, turn it into a community, turn it into stream of income, turn it into legacy, like turn it into all these things that I've shared. And it all started with the book. So it feels great, but I'm learning to sit in it and not just keep going. I need to learn to pause.
So I think so many times as entrepreneurs, we're just in the go mode. We never just sit down and look back.
Yes.
And this, because as I read your bio and been promoting like 11 times, and people say 11, I'm like, yeah, 11 times. And last question before we wrap, which one of your books are you most proud of?
I am so I'm proud of all of them, to be honest. I have to say Go Getter was my baby. That was the first one. So that was the baby. So with that one, I've learned a lot since then. I was, when I said you try and dump everything into one book, that was Go Getter. And so with that, the baby, you learn and you have to start doing and moving in order to learn. So that's the baby. I'm proud of all of them. What seemed like it was easy was the last one. Dream your plan your dream, because I've done it so many times. It's like, okay, well, why, who, what, connect. Like I just go through those same questions and I was able to turn that around quicker than the other ones. So, that's the reason behind those two, but I'm proud of all of them. The book collaborations, the individual books, my clients' books, I'm proud of them all.
Perfect. And those are just my questions. And then where can we find you? So we have people here, we have people watching on YouTube, people will watch it back in the network. Tell us all, how can we find you? Where's the best place to find Tamara, Dr. Tamara Mitchell Davis?
Thank you, sir. So you can find me on Facebook, Tamara Mitchell Davis, or the CEO Wife. My brand is the CEO Wife. Instagram, the CEO Wife 860 is the area code. Or my website, www.theceowife.com is the website. Currently, we are selecting wives in business on our next book collaboration project. We're looking for wives to tell their stories on business and how they had to choose themselves, like their goals, their dreams, like make that a priority and what that looked like for them. Because oftentimes as a wife in business, even myself, we consider the spouse, the children, the family, the career, the business, and all these other things. And our goals and dreams may be on the back burner. And when you decide to make it a priority, there's sacrifices that you make. There's obstacles you overcome. There's things that you have to move through, even within yourself. And so it's shining a light on what it meant to choose you and how did that feel? What did you go through? And we want it to be an inspiration, motivational piece for others who are currently challenged in that area on how do I have the best of both worlds, or how do I, have the marriage and the business, or have, the lifestyle in the business, or all these things without sacrificing their sanity, their happiness, and their goals, their dreams. And so right now we're selecting wives in business to join that book collaboration. That's what's up up next.
Perfect, perfect. And before we wrap, so for those of you that are brand new, again, some people came in later. My name is Quentin McDougald. I am the owner and founder of Nothing But Web and the Nothing But Web Entrepreneur Network. So I'm gonna share my screen. So if you're looking for Tamara, another place that you can find her is right here. So if you go to www.nothingbutwebllc.com, it'll take you right here to the network within the platform. So if you're looking for network members, as you can see, Tamara's right here. She's listed as an episode speaker. And then as you can see, if you're a business owner, author, run an organization, join a network. So we're closing in and getting more people in our community. And again, if you watch this late, if you go to just a watch episode tab, Tamara's episode will be up tomorrow. So if you click here, you can watch her episode along with the other episodes. This is episode 23. So go back and watch. So again, playback. If you didn't take out your pen and pad as he suggested, you can always go back and watch a rerun.
Yeah.
So without, go ahead.
Oh, sorry about that. I put in the chat, I put a link also for a call if anyone wants to schedule a call and just, work through some of that.
Perfect. So with that being said, we're up against the time. Tamara, Dr. Tamara Mitchell Davis, thank you for coming in. Thank you for sharing with us and all the entrepreneurs on YouTube and Zoom how to write a book and leverage your book to grow your business. Again, this is the Nothing But Web Entrepreneurial Network. Any last words before we wrap?
Thank you, Quentin. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for your flexibility. And thank you everyone for showing up for you. Thank you for tuning in with me. And any questions, feel free to reach out and let's get those books published.
Perfect. You inspired me. I'm gonna start my book. I'm gonna come see you.
All right, let's go. We have an all men anthology too. So
okay. All right, there we go. All right, I got a story. All right. So everyone have a great night. Don't forget, we're back the first Wednesday of the month, first Wednesday of September. We're back. If you're a business owner, come on, share about your business, give us an elevator pitch. Again, as our entrepreneur grows and as our network grows, it's always important because the goal why I started this is always to help entrepreneurs grow their business. So the first Wednesday is our next live episode. Next week, you can watch episode number 24 live on the Entrepreneur Network. So everybody have a great night and see you next week.
Have a good night.